My wife, who's the smartest person I've ever known, told our daughter, and she has now told our granddaughters, when you start dating a young man, or going out with a young man, or thinking about a young man as someone to be a boyfriend, a fiance, a husband, said, as you're thinking about that and considering that, no matter what your feelings are, you watch the way that man treats his sisters and his mother, because that is the way he will treat you. So if you don't stand up when she walks in a room, if you don't help her on with her coat, if you don't go open the door for her, don't even swap spit with him. He's not worth your time.
Do it.
He will treat you that way.
Bingo.
So my father treated my mother that way, my grandfather, and I have tried to treat Janice that way.
Respect to a woman is deference to her. Let's use that word.
Absolutely.
So respect to a woman as a man is deference.
And it's manliness.
It is the bowing of the head. It is, you have more jurisdiction than I have. Mm-hmm. That's why I open the door. That's why I do this. That's why I bow. That's why whatever you want, you got it. I'm here for you, whatever you want. That's part of being masculine, is deference to the woman, to the female.
Without question.
And they have spun that to mean this twisted version of it. If you hold the door, or if you take your hat off at dinner, or you pull the chair out for them, or whatever you do, that you're treating them as if they're unequal to you. Unequal. They're not your equal because they can't do it themselves. No. It's the actual opposite of that.
Right.
It's in deference to them. It's in respect to them. It's in a bowing of the head to females. It's in a bowing of my will to you. You got whatever you want. I'm here to back you up. That's what a man is. That's what masculinity is. It is the ability to overcome your own testosterone and yield to the will of the woman. That's a real man.
And let me say that. Let me say this one thing. We think about this. We're the only culture in the world historically, Western civilization. We're the only ones that do not have a ceremony whereby we call our boys into manhood. Jews had a bar mitzvah. Native Americans had a vision quest, whatever you want to call it. All these things. There was a ceremony where now you're part of the tribe, you're part of the village, you're part of the men. We don't have that. And so what we have, consequentially, is we got a bunch of men who hit 40 years old, and guess what? Up here, they're still in their adolescence. They still objectify women. They still treat them as, it's a playboy mentality. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to show by how many notches on the bedpost how much of a man I am. And that's not masculinity at all. That's not manhood. That is, and we've all done it. Look, we've all gone out there and we've all fallen into that trap, that downward spiral cycle of going out there and trying to show how macho we are based on the conquest and all of these things. That's an adolescent mindset. That's what 13-year-olds do when they get the JCPenney catalog and they find the lingerie section. 40-year-old men shouldn't be that way. 30-year-old men shouldn't be that way. But we haven't called our boys into manhood and say, you know what? I went to my father. He's a hard man. He was not a man of many words. And I went to my father when I was 21 years old, and I said, Dad, I want to know how you see me. He said, what do you mean? I said, do you see me as a man? He said, well, you're my son. And I said, I know that, and I appreciate that, and I know in your mind I'll always be your boy. I said, but I want you, because he would have never come to this conclusion on his own. I said, I want you to think of me as a man, And that was a hard conversation for me to have, but I needed to hear my father think of me as a man, and it made a big difference.